What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. I'm your host JT. My co-host is my dad.
What's happened to JT?
I think everyone knows what's going on recently for the Niners, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big elephant in the room.
Shall we talk about the elephant?
Well, how about after the intro music?
That's fine. Let's do it.
So first, we're gonna like
And subscribe.
cue the intro music. So, it's very painful, but the Niners lost the Super Bowl about a week ago, exactly a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
They lost in a heartbreaking overtime loss against the Chiefs.
Couldn't be any worse, I tell you. I mean, it could have been, but I can't imagine it. It was as worse as can be to lose a game that was close and that we were in control. Sounds like the last Super Bowl too that we were in, and still come out on the losing end is painful, for sure. I mean, it took us. We're still kind of hurting from it too.
Yeah.
So this is like a semi-therapy session, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too late though.
Do-
I think a lot of people may have recovered a bit more.
yeah, possibly. Yeah, it has been a week, and time heals all wounds, as they say. So, but it still bites pretty rough. It's still hard to swallow those things. But yeah, so let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. Unfortunately, what is some of the bad things that happened that was frustrating and that caused us to lose?
Well,
Yeah.
I would say maybe CMC's fumble in the beginning of the game. We were driving on them in the beginning, and that was a very big momentum shifter. Although the Chiefs didn't score, I could tell if we had the drive going, I think we would have scored at least a field goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think I remember seeing the stats that 65% of the times, the first team, historically for Super Bowls, first team that scores wins the Super Bowl. Lately, it has not been the case, though, but overall in historically, 65% do win the Super Bowl by scoring first, and especially getting a touchdown. The way we were driving, we had this Chiefs defense on their heels. So it looked like it was, our offense was running on all cylinders and we were going to score a touchdown. It looked like it was inevitable. And things were looking really good. And then CMC fumbles the ball. I was shocked that he did, but I felt like we could recover. It was early. We could recover from that mistake. And if we did as good as we, were running our offense for the rest of the game, I thought we had a good chance. Unfortunately, our offense did not play as well as that first drive, so yeah, I thought, no problem. We drove down their throats. We could do it again. Not true. So some of the other bad things that happened, well, the Greenlaw injury, that freaking weird Greenlaw injury happened, right? That was heartbreaking.
Achilles tear.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was ready he was pumped up to get back on the field on defense. He was on the sideline, jumping up and down. Then he takes off running, and then he tears his Achilles. That we know now. He was out for the game, and Fred Warner was saddened by that. He was so distraught. He was mic'd up during the Super Bowl too, and they had him on the sideline. He just could not believe it. So that really hurt us psychologically, emotionally, mentally, like that. And definitely losing big play Dre for the Super Bowl really hurt our defense too, right? Weakened it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the plays that did happen against us might not have happened. Dre might have broken it up, intercepted it, caused a fumble. Who knows? Uh, Dre Greenlaw could have done for us to help our defense. We'll never know. So that was another injury that happened that caused us to lose that game. What other things happened?
Well, there was a muffed punt. It wasn't really muffed, but it hit off Daryl Lucher's shoe, and then Ray McLeod tried to recover it by picking up and then running it. But I think the special teams coordinator could have taught Ray McLeod to just jump on the ball, especially when it's this big of a game.
Yeah. When it's bouncing and there's other players, the opposite team is around you. You just gotta fall on the ball and hopefully get it, and just leave it up to the offense to take over from there. But instead, it all happened so fast. You watch the replay. Ray McLeod is trying to pick up a bouncing ball, which is never easy with Chiefs special teamers coming at him. Not good. So Ray, I think, made a big mistake there. I don't know. Daryl Luter might have made a mistake too for being in the wrong place, not hearing Ray McLeod warning him that the ball was coming. Many things, but that gave the Chiefs the ball at the 16-yard line in the red zone, right there, and that was the only offensive touchdown in, in the regular part of the 4 quarters of the game. So that was a big deal. Yeah, that was a huge deal. I thought that we gave up that touchdown to Mahomes on that one. I think that was on touchdown, wasn't it? I don't know what the Chiefs scored. Man,
Yeah, I think it was just field goals.
yeah. So yep. So that was the case. So that turned the tide because we had stopped them on defense. We looked like we had the momentum, and the worst thing that happened, we had the momentum. We stopped them on defense. They punt off, and then we muff it. They get the ball right back, and they score a touchdown. It's changed everything. All right. Another thing that happened is the besides the probably the biggest one that I think is the uh third down call, and then was that third down call? It was the third down call. Oh, well, that
In
was
overtime?
with McCaffrey and maybe passing the ball.
Oh yeah, he did not run the ball for like 3 straight drives.
Yeah. Oh, that was the three and outs starting the second half. Yeah, that going against Chiefs, we needed to score, preferably score touchdowns to get up on the Chiefs and have a lead going to the fourth quarter, big enough where they could not come back. But we did nothing with 3 drives, and I think we only ran once out of those 3 plays, 3 drives, 9 plays, one rushing. So they did stop the run pretty well, you know, kept CMC under 4 yards of carry average. 3.6 was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get into overtime, and you had a little decision about this too, about Shanahan's choice.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people were talking about yeah, Sands' choice in overtime, where they're saying that we should have started on defense instead of offense. At the time, I didn't really know what we should do because of the new overtime rules, but apparently you should have went on defense first because Patrick Mahomes, and maybe let your offense rest and then you could score. I don't really know the reason though.
One of the reasons that I heard about was that if you're the second person to get the ball, because with the new rules, you are guaranteed to get the ball no matter what. If the first team that gets the ball scores a touchdown or a field goal or anything, um, the other team gets the ball too and has a chance to score and tie it up or win the game. So being the team that had the ball second, you would know exactly what you needed to do, field goal or touchdown. Because you know what the team did before. If they scored a touchdown, then you know you have to score a touchdown, and a field goal will not do. You know, so at least the second team will know exactly what they need to do to win. On the 49ers side, because we were first, we did whatever. We didn't know a field goal would win it or not. But the Chiefs, on the other hand, knew that a touchdown would win it and a field goal would tie it. That's the advantage the second team would have. They would know exactly what's happening in the game and what they need to do
I
and
feel like
how
the
to
Niners
score.
still seem like knowing the rules though.
Well, this supposedly the coaches did, the players did not, which I don't think is that important. As long as the coaches told Fred Warner, if we win, we want this, and that's what Shanahan wanted supposedly. That he wanted the ball, if he wanted the toss. The main thing that I've heard is that the Niners defense had been on the field for about 10 or 11 plays right before overtime. So it would be very prudent of Shanahan to give your defense a rest. Because if they went back out on the field after playing like 11 plays on defense and then in overtime go right back out again and have to defend against Mahomes, they would be tired. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes scored a touchdown, you know? So it's all hindsight, anyways. But if Shanahan had won the toss, got the ball first, scored a touchdown, our defense stopped Mahomes, Shanahan, nobody would be questioning his choice. Good choice, Shanahan. You won the game. But because he lost, they're questioning it now and saying, you know, there is no true right or wrong. And I think this is the first time we've ever implemented these rules. So, truthfully, in my opinion, the NFL changed these rules. They should have sent out representatives to tell all the teams that are in the Super Bowl. The NFL people should have came out and had a meeting and talked to all the players and coaches at the same time and tell them all the rules. It was the NFL that changed the rules. They should have been in charge of telling them, the whole team, both teams, the rules, not letting the coaches have to tell the players. I don't think that's cool. That's me. It's the NFL that changed it. They should be the one responsible for informing everybody of how the rules will go. Anyways, the last thing about the bad of the Super Bowl is, well, for me, letting Mahomes get the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win it with a score, that is what you would never, ever want to happen, is give Mahomes the ball with a chance to score and win the game with that. I've seen it too many times. Mahomes almost always comes through. So
Yeah.
we put ourselves in a bad situation there. As soon as that happened, we kicked a field goal. It was I was just praying for a turnover, a tip ball for interception. Other than that, it looked pretty bad. Mahomes is very scary in those situations. So that we shouldn't have been in that situation. We should have been up by more. Who knows? But there's a lot of what ifs. Well, what is the good? What are some of the good things that we saw in the Super Bowl and we get to look forward to for next season?
Well, I guess Purdy he did well, kinda.
Kinda. I mean, for a Mr. Irrelevant, I think he did pretty good.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
guess.
Super Bowl, biggest game of his life, no interceptions, played well against a great, really hot Chiefs defense. I think he held his own very well. So I'm proud of that guy. So happy that he's with us and still happy that he's our quarterback.
Okay,
So
so I don't mean to really hate on Purdy. Obviously, I'm an Irish fan, but I also kind of want to be real here. He didn't really do that great in the playoffs. Like his rating didn't like. Did he go for 90? It might have gone over 90 once. I know it's really good for Mr. Irrelevant, but
but we need more.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. You're right. You're right. But the Super Bowl was the biggest, most pressure out of anything he had to go through. The playoffs were kind of rocky. You're right, JT. You're right. But the big show, the Super Bowl, he showed up. He showed up pretty well. You know, he didn't crumble, which could have happened. Could have been too big for him. But it wasn't. So for me, that's a relief, and I'm glad that he did. And he's proving that he's our franchise quarterback, and that's great. That is fantastic. That's the brightest thing I think for us right now. For me is Purdy. He looks like he's the real deal, and even in the biggest game, he will show up and do well. And hopefully, he just gets better from here. And he seems like he's that kind of player, that kind of guy, to want to keep improving, never be satisfied, and that's exactly what we need.
Okay, this one might be controversial, but Jake Moody,
Ugh, I'm
he
just kidding.
he did good in field goals. I'm not sure about extra points though.
Something needs to practice. Keep practicing, get better at those point afters. My God, it should not be so low. You know,
Yeah,
um, we didn't even talk about that
I
as one of
think
the bad things that happened. But
yeah,
point after, anyways.
I think Moody saved all his worst misses for the playoffs.
That's great. Well, hopefully he's over those things. Oh my God.
No, he misses the field goals at the worst time. He misses in the playoffs. He missed it like the game before the playoffs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he missed a game-winning field goal.
Oh my God. Should we keep this guy or what? But okay, that's over another podcast maybe. But yeah, he made a 53 yarder and a 55, which was at that time a Super Bowl record, which shocked me. I didn't know, and he didn't know either. We're like, wow, he just broke a record, a Super Bowl record. He's a record holder now for the Super Bowl. That's great. But then what's his name? Buckner.
Harrison Bucker
He broke that field goal record.
got like a 57-yarder somehow.
Yeah. So now he's holding the record too. So Moody held it for like what 10 minutes or something. Oh man. So some other things that worked out pretty well. Jair Brown, our rookie safety, he showed up pretty well. Got an interception of Mahomes in a big game. These younger players that play well in big pressure, high pressure situations. That bodes well for us, I think. So I'm happy Jair Brown got the start over Logan Ryan, who I think ended up playing nickel. Um, yeah, what do you think about Jair Brown?
I think he's developed really well. He kind of has been a ball hawk this season. He hasn't played the whole season, but he has like, including the playoffs, like 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yeah.
good for rookie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Um, the good also was we started out great in the Super Bowl, right? The offense was great. The scripted plays was perfect. It looked like it was run, and our defense was stopping Mahomes. It was working. It was the time when Bosa came in and was about to get Mahomes, but instead he changed his attack angle and came from the outside, causing Mahomes to
Third way.
yeah, run out, and he couldn't scramble. You had a chance to maybe Mahomes run and scramble, get some yards, but Bosa was patient and did the right thing and contained him basically, and he had to throw it away. So it was actually a pretty good defensive game plan by Wilks. It seemed like so. Offense, defense, we're running all cylinders. But we'll talk about Wilks in a second. A few other things.
McCaffrey, he played well. His rushing average wasn't that great, but I think 80 yards receiving, 80 yards rushing, and a touchdown. That's pretty good.
I think that's a record. They can always have any kind of record, but no other. I think running back has ever done 80 for 80 in the Super Bowl. So that's saying something. That's CMC. He's great. Unfortunately, that fumble will haunt him and fans for a while. But yeah, CMC had a not a stupendous game, but a solid game. But the person who probably could have been our MVP if we had won, was
Juwan Jennings.
now he's part of the play of the game for the Niners, right?
Yep.
Crazy play.
Trick play.
Yeah.
I think Purdy threw it to Jennings. I was like, are we doing a wide receiver screen with Juwan Jennings? And he's so far behind the line of scrimmage. So I was like, no way he's gonna run it. Yeah, and he didn't. He threw it to McCaffrey like all the way across the field.
Yeah. Yeah. My God.
And McCaffrey yacked it all the way.
He acted all the way. Yep. Avoided some tackles here and there. Got some blocks and got a touchdown. Oh man, we were jumping up and down like crazy. That was a crazy play. That's exactly the kind of imaginative play calling and design that I hope to see from Shanahan almost every game. Maybe nothing
You
that
want to see
crazy.
trick play every game?
Maybe not that elaborate, but something where it's total misdirection, confuse the defense, and get some big yak yards or a touchdown easy. I mean, if he's so imaginative, he should be and innovative. We should see that, once a game, twice a game, something like that. So plus Jennings had that great reception and broke the tackle to force his way into the end zone. That was a great play by Jennings too.
Okay, I know this is painful to hear, but like, say Juwan Jennings caught the ball on like third and
Juwan?
yeah, wait, I said Juwan, right?
Yeah, no, you said it right. I'm just joking with you. Third
Uh,
and Juwan. Okay.
he caught the ball and got for a touchdown. Like, was it third and four?
Uh-huh.
Well, was that in fourth quarter or overtime?
I think it's fourth. That was overtime. Yeah, it was the overtime one.
And then say he scored a touchdown and their defense stopped Mahomes, and like was a turnover on downs. Who would win Super Bowl MVP? Would it be Juwan Jennings?
I think Juwan Jennings. Third string wide receiver. It's happened before. Like Desmond Howard or something. Or some people got it. I think there's almost no way you can not give him the MVP in that situation. It's close though, but usually it goes to the quarterback, as you know.
I
But
mean, Brock Purdy didn't play amazing.
I would love for Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl MVP, man. Give that regular season MVP garbage to somebody else. Super Bowl MVP bigger. It would have been so deserving if that happened to you. I would be. Doesn't even matter.
But like,
Anyways,
but maybe like the voters would have given it to Christian McCaffrey. Actually, you could have voted yourself, but yeah, it could have been a Christian McCaffrey.
yeah. All right. Okay, let's be done with the Super Bowl, huh? We're done.
Yeah.
Closed chapter, new chapter,
Yeah.
off season.
Looking forward to the off season. No mentioning the Super Bowl for a long time.
Yes, agreed. Handshake done. Okay, so what quickly happened? I think it was on Wednesday. Shanahan made an announcement. Pretty big.
Yeah, that they're firing Steve Wilks.
Wow. But there was something that happened in that game that I'm not going to mention. He called a timeout. He didn't like the defensive play call on that one, and I think Shanahan was kind of angry with Wilkes for calling that kind of defense. Didn't think it was the right defense to call. I think it was 5 or 6 on the line and 5 or 6 in the backfield, and as DBs, nobody in the middle. That's what I heard. Anyways, so it was surprising. Were you surprised, KT?
Yeah, because I feel like he improved like over the season,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought we were gonna keep him. I didn't think there was I thought there was a low chance that we would fire him, but with all these other coaches as like I guess free agent coaches, we can get Michael Vrabel, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Our
Well,
defense could be better, and maybe Wilkes wasn't running the same scheme that we want to run.
well, if Belichick came, it wouldn't be the same thing either. So yeah, it's to for continuity, it would have been nice to have the same DC 2 years in a row. Um, and like you said, Wilkes seemed to improve a bit. He's not running his own scheme; it's Shanahan's scheme basically. So it's the type of defense that Shanahan likes to play. Um, that Robert Sala and D'Amico Ryans learned, and like some kind of Seattle hybrid with a wide nine front, that 4-3 type of setup. So I think it. I was surprised, and I think he was improving. And to start from scratch again with another DC, it kind of puts us behind a little bit. I think, depending on who they hire and who's willing to take that position. Since mostly everybody, all the other teams in the NFL have already solidified their coaching staff, we are getting into the game really late. So we don't have the same, I think, choices as teams earlier on had. But hopefully Shanahan has somebody in mind already. I mean, if you're going to fire your DC, you better have a little bit of planning ahead of time to look at who's available. So we'll see who the Niners announce. Maybe it'll be next week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, or maybe it will be a long time from now. I don't know.
Maybe it could be today.
Maybe today, yeah, Sun to Sunday. Get a call. All right. Yeah, that was a big one. So who can replace him? So you were saying Belichick and Vrabel, and you said that they run a more of a 3-4, right? I think
Yeah, according to Madden.
according to Madden, yeah, I think Belichick does run a 3-4 too. So that would be a big change. I don't know if Shanahan is willing to change his scheme, the scheme that he prefers, because he fired Wilkes for not being able to run that scheme. Is he comfortable enough to allow a great defensive mind like, say, Vrabel or Belichick, and just let them do what they want to do, and he'll do the offense side and let them do the defensive side? That would be, something like what Andy Reid and what's his name, Spagnolo or whatever defensive coordinators, they handle their side of the ball. Shanahan's getting his hands involved on both sides and the whole team. It's a lot. Um,
But Shanahan's scheme has been working. That's why maybe our defense has been ranked really high most of the time. So
that's true.
I
That's
wouldn't be
true.
mad if he didn't change it.
That's true. And they've signed and drafted the type of players to fit that type of scheme too. So it's built a certain way with the players that we have. And you're right. Historically, last few years, we've been one of the best. So why mess with something that's not broken, huh? So yeah, good point. So there's another person maybe in house. I was thinking that could be a good candidate is Johnny Holland, right?
Yeah, our linebackers coach.
Yeah, I believe so. I think uh I think Salah was a linebacker coach, and Ryan's was a linebacker coach, and I think that's a good middle ground uh, type of position coach to take on defensive coordinator for this defense. He's been with us ever since Shanahan came on board in 2017, so he knows the system well. Has been in all the meetings, has worked with Salah and Ryan's, and I think he could be a good in-house candidate for DC. That's my choice. All right, so let's talk about the Ayuk. Ayuk is on what year of his contract?
His fifth. Well, He's gonna play on his 5th-year option. But he wants an extension now.
Yeah, most people do, and it might be better for our salary cap if we sign him to an extension. First year of a contract usually is low, so it's like Debo's was, Nick Bosa's was. So it'll actually help us if he doesn't play on the 5th-year option, contract wise, and getting a year head start on signing him. It'll be cheaper this year than next year. It's always going to get more expensive, right? So you think the Niners? What should the Niners do? Extend him?
Yeah, extend him. Even though he didn't play amazing in the playoffs, of course the Immaculate Catch will always be remembered. It was a great play. He didn't have a great games.
The postseason, he was like, yeah, I forgot exact numbers, but 50% or lower on his target to catch ratio. So, uh, not great games in the biggest games of the year for us. But he played so well in the regular season. He practices well. you know, training camp he was great. Technique is always getting better. Uh, I mean, I like Ayuk. I think he fits in very well. Hopefully he'll sign, and hopefully he's not going to do any Debo stuff, but it might happen.
It's kind of happening right now.
Be prepared. Exactly. Be prepared for all these crazy things, and next thing you know, he'll sign a contract. All right. So, all right. Let's talk about the free agents. Our free agents, Niner free agents, top five. Okay, are we doing top five ranking, or are we just doing five overall that you'd want to keep?
5 overall that we want to keep. No
Okay.
specific order.
Okay. No specific order. Okay. You did your five. I did my five. Let us open the book up, and then you will show. Okay. You tell me first player of your list, and then I'll tell you if I had the same.
So I have Javon Kinlaw on there.
Whoa. Okay. I had him too,
Mhm.
but I had him as a slash. Actually, I kind of cheated, but I think I would go Kinlaw because of his age, for sure.
Were you
Why? Why would you sign him? The guy is injury prone. He's kind of first round bust. Why would you want to sign him?
okay? Well, I think. Well, I heard that he's playing better when like the season went on. He played well in the playoffs. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
it, he might be trying extra hard for a better contract, but that's why we'll sign him to a 1 year prove it deal.
Hey man, I'm thinking just like you. Exactly the same thing. He's young. He hasn't proven anything. He shouldn't be too expensive, and we need some depth right now. Yeah. Okay. So next one. All right. Mine. Cleveland Furrow. Right. That's a pretty easy one. I think. No.
Yeah, I have him too.
Okay. Your face like you were surprised I said it. Yeah. He's a great edge setter for us, especially against the run. He shouldn't be too expensive. Maybe another 1 year deal. 2 year deal would be fine too. I'll be happy with that. As you know, even 3 year. He's pretty young. Just got off his first rookie deal, I believe. So I think he works well with us. So I think he would be a great first and second down kind of run play end opposite of Nick Bosa, and then maybe third down bringing in more of a pass rush specialist. I think would be good.
Drake Jackson,
Yeah, sure. We'll see. Okay, so you got Clarence Rowe too. All right, give me your next one. Let's see if we agree.
John Feliciano, and I guess we can maybe talk about what happened with him and Spencer Burford.
Yeah, yeah. He said he was drunk, or the day before he was drunk, and then he tweeted that thing or something saying that. Well, it was actually good to let people know that it wasn't Colt McKivitt's fault because it looked like it was. If you look at the replay, but it actually is Burford. But some people might not like being thrown under the bus or that type of a player for us. I don't know. I don't know if management would want him back because of that. If it wasn't for that, I totally would put him up there. And I did add him to my list too. Um, we need to really solidify that right side of the offensive line. And he played very well. And he's cheap. He's a veteran too. Everything perfect that they would want for an O lineman. A veteran, cheap veteran. And he played well. So, yeah, besides that Burford thing, he doesn't like to lose. Maybe that's a good thing too. It's okay to be mad sometimes. I wouldn't put it totally against him. I hope. We'll see what management thinks. Okay, for me, Charlie Warner. I want him back. And I would think I would never say that the year before or the year before that. But this year, he's proven to be pretty good as a backup tight end, more of a blocking guy. I think he has some receptions here and there that look pretty good. Sometimes I actually confused him with Kittle. So, oh, that was Kittle. No, wait, no, that was
I think
Charlie
actually
Warner.
one time we confused him with Christian McCaffrey.
Whoa, that's that's big time. But yeah, Charlie Warner, I think has played well. He'll be cheap. He backup tight end. Oh, I forgot what round it was, fifth round pick or something.
Yeah.
Not he's not gonna break the bank, but I think he's a great depth piece. And we don't know what we got with Latu.
And Braden Willis
Yeah, Willis.
cost us the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's another bad, huh? Okay. All right. So yeah. So I think Charlie Warner. How about you? Did you have him too? Or?
Yeah, I also had him.
Oh man. Okay. We are matching completely. All right. Give me the last one on your side.
You might be surprised, but if he's willing to come back,
Uh-huh.
to Sean Gibson to be a backup.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. I like that. As a backup.
But do you
Yeah.
think he'll not retire just to be a backup though?
If he enjoyed the ride to get to the Super Bowl, he might be enticed to come back. And of course, Hufanga and him are real tight. If Hufanga can try and talk him into it, he can sway him, maybe stay. One more year, maybe fight for a starting job. You can put it up to that, and then whoever does better,
With Jared
kind
Brown and
of,
Gibson?
yeah, kind of like that. Give him a chance, but not really give him a chance. Have Jair Brown for sure. 75% probably get it, but still pretend that there's a competition just to get Gibson to stay as backup. But that'd be a great backup. Um, that wouldn't be too bad.
He mentored Jair Brown as well. So.
Yeah, it's true. For me, I went Chris Conley, right? The clothesliner. I like that guy.
Just because he comes in clutch.
Chris, the clutch clothesliner Conley, quadruple C. He's the man.
So the special teams is gonna be Womack and Chris Conley.
Special teams.
Like the Gunners.
If they play Womack, he was a healthy scratch for the Super Bowl. I don't know where he's at on the depth chart. Well, even on special teams.
He should be on special teams.
He should, yes. But sure, yeah. Conley did awesome on offense. He was clutch on those catches. Caught the pass in the Super Bowl. Caught that pass against Detroit in the NFC Championship game. Made that stupendous, my God, that great tackle
on Rich James.
Yeah, that was great, man. That was one of the best special teams. Like what was it, punt or kickoff? Um, yeah, that was coverage. That was great. That was great. And I think we need more veteran depth on wide receiver. Saying that since Ray McLeod is not on this list because he's a free agent, I'm saying bye bye Ray. So Conley can totally come in as the fourth receiver. I would totally be happy with that. And he has that height. He has that size that we don't have. Well, depending on how tall Jennings is, but
it's like 6'3".
Yeah, I thought Conley was taller. But anyways, okay. So, all right, we did that. Now, besides the free agents, of our free agents, there's another free agent that you were talking about that we should maybe sign.
Azeez Al-Shire.
Yeah, bring him back home.
Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah. We met him that time at the training camp.
Oh, yeah,
got a picture with him too and everything. And then he leaves a few years later. But that's how football is. But with Greenlaw out with the Achilles, and who knows how long it could take, maybe a year, 9 months. It could go all the way into maybe November of next year. This year. We might need a linebacker that can really start for us. And Azeez is a free agent, you told me. He's done with his contract with the Titans. And he had great stats, you said, huh? He had a great year.
Top 10 tackles.
Dang. If we can afford him. I mean, if he's that good. He only signed a 1-year contract, you said?
Yeah, $6 million.
So, I don't know if we have the money, but we need to shore up that linebacker spot. Without Dre Greenlaw, we can't rely on, and Burks is a free agent too, Warren Burks. Can't rely on D. Winters or Graham. Right, the other rookie linebackers, and DFF, he's not very good. So, I think Azeez would be a no-brainer if we can. He knows the system, So, all right, I guess that should be about it. Huh? We've gone long enough. We're gonna hit the 40-minute mark. We had some other things to talk about, but we can save that for the next podcast. So great talking to you, JT.
Yeah, it was also pretty painful just talking about the Super Bowl. 'Cause,
Therapeutic. Let's call it therapeutic. Yes, it was painful too. But we are Niner fans for life. The faithful still alive, growing every day. Man, the Niner fans are the best, and so proud to be a part of this.
well, that wraps up for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.